Under the shimmering lights of Paris, where laughter echoes through cafe alleys and carriages cross bridges of stone, lies a hidden world no map dares to reveal. Beneath the charm and romance rests an ancient secret, a forgotten prison buried deep beneath the catacombs. No historian ever found it, no record ever named it, but those who went searching never returned. Tonight, we follow the last footsteps ever taken into the prison beneath Paris. The historian who found the entrance had followed the trail of an erased map, tracing ink stains from 1799. He believed it was a lost war shelter, but the truth was far older. The stone steps led into silence, and silence led to something that had no name, something built not by the city, but by fear itself. Beyond the bars, the corridor stretched into darkness. The historian entered, and the air turned heavy, almost alive. The walls were etched with numbers, not years, but counts, perhaps of those who never came out. Each echo of his footsteps seemed to be answered by another, one not his own. Deep under the quiet boulevards of Paris, where tourists stroll above without a clue, a hidden entrance opens into the underworld. The air is thick, heavy, and wet. What once were limestone quarries have become endless corridors of silence. Over centuries, they were sealed, forgotten, until whispers began about prisoners who vanished without trial, locked beneath the city itself. The walls here are older than revolutions, marked not by time, but by secrets buried within them. The Paris catacombs were never meant for prisoners. But after revolts and wars, desperate regimes turned the tunnels into secret holding cells, places that never officially existed. Historians uncovered faint records, Détention C-47, Ligne souterraine, but no maps. Those who entered were never logged, never released. Here, the city's beauty masks a darker foundation built on silence. Beneath the glitter of cafes and music, men rotted behind stone walls nobody dared to admit existed. By the late 1800s, rumors spoke of prisoners who carved warnings into the limestone, messages seen by no one but the dead. During World War II, resistance members were said to vanish into the same tunnels, swallowed by their own city. Modern explorers who've dared to descend claim they've heard footsteps echoing where no one should walk. Whether truth or legend, the catacombs keep their silence, sealing Paris's darkest secret behind ancient stone. Beneath the catacombs, echoes carried stories never meant to be told. Whispers of prisoners who vanished without records, their names erased, their crimes unknown. The walls, soaked in moisture and time, seemed to breathe, exhaling secrets that chilled the soul. The deeper one ventured, the stronger the sense of unseen eyes, watching from beyond the stone. Hidden in one chamber lay a carved map, crude, etched into the wall by desperate hands. It showed tunnels leading to places that didn't exist on any Paris record. Each line hinted at something ancient, something the city had buried intentionally. The map was both a guide and a warning, and the figure could feel history pressing close, whispering not to follow. As the figure descended, the walls grew closer, the air thicker. It entered a chamber filled with old iron chains, rusted yet strangely clean, as if untouched by time. Each chain hung from the ceiling like a frozen scream. The silence was unbearable. Only the faint sound of dripping water and a heartbeat that wasn't its own. At the end of another corridor, the figure entered a hall where masks covered the walls, blank, expressionless, yet human in form. They stared without eyes, like memories of the prisoners who once existed here. Each mask seemed to whisper through silence, echoing lost confessions. The figure's reflection warped across dozens of faces, its own identity dissolving among the forgotten. Finally, the figure reached a colossal gate, forged of steel and silence. Beyond it lay only darkness, but something pulsed from within, rhythmic and alive. It wasn't just a prison, it was a boundary, sealing away what humanity had buried long ago. The figure hesitated, knowing that crossing meant never returning, yet the gate was already beginning to open. The figure stepped into the abyss. There was no ground, yet it descended, falling through air that felt thick as water. Faint lights glimmered below, like reflections of cities long dead. Gravity seemed to shift, twisting reality itself. The prison had no end. It was a loop beneath the city's bones, swallowing every trace of history in silence. The platform led into a corridor of arches that seemed infinite. Each step echoed like thunder in a tomb. The air smelled of iron and dust, the remnants of centuries locked away. Faint outlines of cells lined the walls, their bars twisted and broken. Something had once lived here. Something that might still be listening. There was movement now, faint and deliberate. Ahead, a corridor wound tightly, lined with heavy doors sealed by ancient locks. The figure felt watched, though the air was still. A whisper brushed the stone. Not all prisoners were men. The words vanished like smoke, leaving behind only the sound of metal breathing. The figure entered the central hall, a cavernous dome buried beneath the streets of Paris. Massive chains hung from the ceiling, vanishing into darkness. In the center stood a pedestal bearing a single metal sphere, pulsating faintly with light. The air vibrated, ancient energy awakening as if recognizing its visitor. When the light touched the figure, visions burst through the void. Glimpses of prisoners, guards, and engineers who had built the secret prison centuries ago. It was not only a place to contain, but to erase. Every soul sealed here had been forgotten, deliberately. The city above stood on foundations of silence and guilt. The figure turned to find itself in a new chamber, walls made entirely of mirrors. Its reflection multiplied endlessly, each version staring back silently. It realized the prison was alive, showing the truth of what it contained. Reflections of those who built it. The line between prisoner and warden blurred, lost in endless reflections. The mirrors began to crack, releasing echoes of screams buried for centuries. The ground shook as walls folded inward, turning the prison against itself. Dust and light collided, forming a storm of forgotten time. The figure stood firm amid chaos, its reflection breaking into fragments that drifted upward like ash. When the storm subsided, the figure stood before a final stairway, leading upward toward faint daylight filtering through cracks in stone. Each step echoed softly, closer to the world above. As it emerged from beneath Paris, silence followed. The city continued to breathe, unaware of the prison that still pulsed below, waiting for the next soul to wander too deep. Beneath the modern streets of Paris, silence breathes through ancient stone, a whisper from the forgotten tunnels that once held the city's darkest secrets. But as one story ends, another begins. Because somewhere deeper still, beyond the sealed gates and dust of time, lies something far older and far more dangerous. The next descent is only the beginning.